Today's lesson involves distributive property. So our first example here involves variables where we're going to take A times B and then we're going to take A times C. So we're basically taking that coefficient that's out front and multiplying it by each term that's on the inside, which gives us A times B plus A times C. I'm going to show you an example where we use numbers to do the same thing. This number outside here gets multiplied by everything on the inside. So our first step was 8 times 10 plus, we're going to combine that with 8 times 4. So we end up with 80 plus 32, which would be $102. All right, so I'm going to show you a few examples here where we have our coefficient on the outside. So we're going to take 3 times 11, which is 33. 3 times negative 5, which is minus 15. And then 33 take away 15 would give us 18. So you're always going to want to try to simplify that as far as you can go. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one. This would be 5m. And then 5 times 6 would be plus 30. Now these two are not like terms because one has a variable and one does not. So that would be our final answer. We'd have to leave that answer in that format. This next one with 12, we need to create a situation where we have distributive properties. So I'm going to split it into a whole number and a fraction component. So we have 2 plus 1/3. So now we can take 12 times 2, which is 24. 12 times 1/3, which we could set it up like this. So we have 12 over 3. And 12 divided by 3, same thing as 4. We actually have plus 4 here. Now we can add those together, and that will simplify down to 28. This next one here, I would just slide the negative 3 over, and then you can treat it like the rest of our distributive property problems. So negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Negative 3 times negative w, and negative times a negative is a positive. So that would be plus 3w. This next one, remember, we try to make this as easy as we can and involve mental math. So instead of multiplying by 23, we're going to split that up into 20 plus 3 to show our distributive property. So 8 times 20 is 160. And then 8 times 3 would be 24. And when we add those two together, we end up with 184. We're going to jump over to this page. So when we look at terms, grab that. In our expression that we have here, we actually have 4 terms. Our first term is 3w, our second term is plus 6b, our third 9w, and our fourth is plus 8. So those are what we call terms. Out of these, the two things that are like terms are 3w plus 9w. So those are two things we could put together and make 12w if we were simplifying. Coefficients, so we're just looking at terminology here. So the boxes are maroon colored boxes are around our coefficients. Our coefficients are our values that are sitting right outside each of our variables. So 3, 6, and 9 are what we call coefficients. 8 is not a coefficient because it